We are now live.
Okay. Got it. So welcome everyone who is listening and who might, listen not live later. My name is Jordan Radford, and I use she, her pronouns. I am a Caucasian woman with medium to dark brown hair that comes a little past my shoulders, and I have blue eyes, and I'm wearing a rose-colored sweatshirt, and I'm wearing big headphones over my ears. So that is me. I'm going to be moderating this amazing discussion with two lovely human beings who I will defer to introduce themselves.
All right, I am Farah Garland. I use they, them pronouns. I am a AFAB non-binary person, Caucasian. I've got short green hair with an undercut, black plastic framed glasses, a white button-down shirt and a blue blazer, and I'm sitting in front of my bookshelves, also occasionally sipping from a black teacup.
All right, my name is Grace Grell. I use she, her pronouns. I have long, dark brown hair, and I am a Caucasian female. I have dark brown eyes, and I am wearing a blue t-shirt, and I am sitting in my kitchen with a tannish vanilla ice cream colored wall behind me.
Ruby, this is Jordan again. Thank you both for the audio descriptions and your pronouns and everything. I'm so glad that we can be inclusive during this discussion for everyone. So I think I can get started with the intro to this discussion that I'm really excited about. I've been learning about Judy Huemann and her role as a disability rights advocate for a few years now, partially because of the program, and mostly because of the rehabilitation program that I'm in, and partially because of just that she's pretty famous. So this is just going to be a relaxed discussion about our perceptions of her life, her role, what we feel that has been especially empowering for us, where we can go for the future, using her and others, that she was working with. It wasn't just her, it was hundreds and thousands of other people with disabilities that have laid this foundation for us as other disabled people to further advocacy from. So that's really exciting. And we can also talk about her 2021 book, Rolling Warrior, which I believe we have all read. And I've also read her 2020 book, Being Human. So yeah, if either Sarah or Grace, whoever wants to go first, what are your perceptions of, and how much do you know about Judy Huemann's impact for disability rights? How do you feel?
Grace, would you like to go first on this one? Because I will talk forever.
Sure. So this is Grace. I guess like my opening thoughts are just that Judy really did so much to try to make this world more inclusive, and we need more people doing those types of things. And Judy spoke loud and proud and was a voice for so many people who feel like they don't have one in society. And a lot of times I feel, as a person with a disability, it can be hard to advocate for what you need. A lot of times people can make it feel like the things that you need might be some sort of inconvenience, unfortunately. But Judy did so much to not only advocate for those who felt like maybe they couldn't, but to tell people that these are things that we need and they aren't inconveniences and things like that, I suppose.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah. Judy was, oh man, like where to even start? She was a person in a disabled body at a time when disability rights more or less did not exist. And without even really going like I found it really inspiring that she did not really go into life being like, I'm going to be a disability rights activist, I'm going to be in politics. Like she just wanted to live a normal life. And through that, this girl, woman managed to help change policy nationally as far as like physical access to public spaces, as far as legal protections for disabled folk, as far as educational access and protections. I mean, just a girl wanting to be able to go to school, a woman wanting to be able to be a teacher. I mean, just wanting to be able to live the life that she was promised, the American dream, if you will, ended up with her not single-handedly, but somewhat close to it, just upending our legal system in such a profound and beautiful way, and just changed things for the 25% of the population that is this day disabled. And that is just incredibly inspiring.
Thanks, Barrett. This is Jordan again. I love both of your perceptions. I totally agree. There's so much that you can say about this person, about Judy Huemann, and a lot of it is super inspiring. Not because it's a disabled person overcoming the odds of being a disabled person. This is a disabled person overcoming the odds of the world not being inclusive. It's the idea that it's not the person, it's the environment and how that person is viewed and interacts with their environment. So I will frequently go back to thinking of her statement in both of her books and in interviews and even her podcast, The Human Perspective. She talks about this a lot. And I don't know the exact quote, but roughly it's the idea that independence isn't doing something by yourself. It's being in control of what is done. Mm-hmm. So I want to know how Grace and Farah, how you both, do you agree with that? What do you think about that, and how do you think that mentality influenced everything that she's done and where we can go with that mentality from here.
I would say that I do agree with that perspective. I think about her story of when she moved to California and finally got an aide. Oh, this is Farah speaking. I should announce that when I speak. I'm sorry. When she moved to California and finally had an aide, an assistant, someone to help her, and she went and they asked her what time she wanted to get up in the morning. And she said that she had never been asked that before. It had always been on everybody else's schedule, what time she would get up, what was convenient for everyone else. And suddenly, Judy was able to get up when she wanted to get up, not when it was, convenient for others. And I think that is truly independence. That is truly, she is still not getting up on her own, but she's in control of when and how it happens, right? I think that for many of us, we may never have the ability to do some things completely autonomously, but to be able to have a say over it, to have control over the whens and hows, to be in the driver's seat, if you will. I think that is what it can mean to be able to live independently. And I think that is, or at least should be, the goal of, things like independent living centers and disability organizations statewide and nationwide.
Thank you.
So this is Grace. I definitely agree with what's already been stated and with the quote that you read, Jordan. And I think that it's really important to, I suppose, when we're talking about independence, like what was stated before, having control over certain aspects, I believe, is independence. And I think, unfortunately, right now we live in a society where so many people believe that they need to do things 100% by themselves. And I don't think that just because you're doing something like alone, if you have that capability, it means that you're independent, because you can be independent as a group and get things done and move forward. And I think that that's important to remember, is that independence is one of, really, like any word that can have any sort of definition to any particular person. What independence might mean to me might be different than what it means to Jordan or to anyone who's, watching today. And so I think it's really important to remember that, and that we need to continue to do what we can to let people have control over the things that are important to them.
This is Jordan. Thanks. Thanks, Grace. And thank you, Farah. Both of your thoughts have just sparked so many other different routes that I could go down with what I'm thinking. But I truly believe that independence is having that agency and that control over what happens to you. And it's really sad to think that regulations and community engagement and institutions, unfortunately, where disabled people live and things, that they don't have as much control as they should. If folks are truly in control over their lives, then they would choose to stay home probably, and have those at-home community resources where, rather than living in a facility that is designed for a person with a disability, having resources that will make their home, their own home, accessible, and their own living situation accessible. And that's a bummer to me, that isn't more widely accepted as independence, or like known as independence, because we do live in an individualistic society of you make your own destiny, and it's kind of a competition rather than working together to create something that's going to work for everyone, because you have this competitive mentality. Why would you help the people you're in competition with? And that's sad to me. And I think going forward, we should define independence as that control and as that agency of, waiting until, or not waiting, but taking the time to listen to folks, however they need to communicate. Like those 504 sit-ins, they would have their meetings that would last until 3 a.m. because they waited until every single person there was heard. And that's truly important. And so I think that's what independence should mean, and that's how we should define it, and that's how we should base legislation, is not to separate folks, is to include them with all the support that they need to be in control. And that's my thoughts on it. I'm also curious to know from you both what you think about the idea when Judy in her book has talked about like people with disabilities, their lives depend on the kindness of others. How does that ring true to you, or what do you usually think about that?
This is great. I suppose I can kind of go first, maybe with just some thoughts. I think, unfortunately, since we live in a world right now that is still moving towards being more inclusive, I find that a lot of the time that can kind of be the case. And it's, Jordan, you had said this earlier. I can't exactly remember what it was about. I think it was about the independence, that it's kind of a bummer to put it, I guess, in the best way possible, because we shouldn't have to rely on people being kind to get the things that we need to make this world more accessible, in a world that should be accessible. I suppose, if that makes any sense. And I hope that we can move towards a future where we don't need to rely on people being kind and considerate to have access to the tools that we need, because the tools that we need are no different than, I guess, comparing it to a construction worker needing a drill to help build a house. I mean, they're things that we need to do our jobs and to pursue our dreams. So they should be accessible to us.
Thank you. What are your thoughts, Sarah, if you have any?
Oh, I always have thoughts.
Groovy.
Yes. So this is Farah, and I first of all could not agree more with what Grace so eloquently said. It's fortunate that so many people are like so kind and will, help us disabled folk out when we need it. That's lovely, but it's just completely unacceptable that so often that's the necessity, that like if there was not someone there to be kind, to offer assistance, to whatever, that we would just sort of be out of luck. Like hoping someone is there to be nice to you is not the same as having access, right? The best example of this I can think of off the top of my head is, so I'm an ambulatory wheelchair user. So when I'm out and about kicking around town, I am oftentimes in my chair because standing and walking is real hard and just getting ever harder. And here in New England, a very old part of the country, not a lot of places are up to code. Lots of exemptions and a lot of things aren't wheelchair accessible. When I bring this up to people, like, your place of business, this place that you work, whatever you have, like, it's not wheelchair accessible. I have on more than one occasion from more than one person at more than one local business been told that if I wasn't so ungrateful or unkind or whatever, insert your choice word here, that people would gladly just carry me inside. And I'm just like, that's not, well, first of all, how would I get out? And second of all, that's not the same as access. And third of all, this example right here shows how having to rely on kindness is not an acceptable substitute for access, because by me merely saying, hey, this place is inaccessible, you have decided that I am too rude to deserve help to get in, and therefore I'm not able to actually count on your kindness. So I do actually still need access. So like, it is unfortunate that so often disabled folk in a whole manner of ways do have to rely on kindness to get by, but it's also just wildly unacceptable and unsustainable for that to be like the standard, or to stand, really, or to sit if you're me. Haha.
This is Jordan. Thank you, Grace. Thank you, Farah. Something that you both said is that, like, it is a travesty. It is honestly an atrocity that people with disabilities have to rely on the good Samaritans of the world to have access to the most basic things. And it made me realize that, Sarah, you pointed out pretty good, like, if you weren't so unkind, we would be more willing to help you. So it not only our livelihoods and our day-to-day interactions and our need for access also relies on us being patient and kind,
Mhm.
and the epitome of pity. Like we engage in this self-destructive cycle of I have to look like I need help so that someone will help me, and I have to act a certain way for someone to help me do this thing that I can't do by myself, or with any auxiliary aid or assistance from someone whose job it is to do that. They get paid, so you have to rely on this kindness, and then it's defeating of disability rights, because then that's how the community then views us and interacts with us. We do it because we have to, because it's our lives, and they do it because they want to feel good about themselves.
Mhm.
And that's really messed up. That is unacceptable. It's dehumanizing, and it disvalues the lives of people with disabilities. It's saying you have to act and be a certain way, and that's when I'll help you. And it's like, well, you wouldn't need to help me if there were certain protections and legislation and built-in inclusivity, universal design, whatever you want to call it,
Mhm.
that was just integrated at the beginning.
That's
we
right.
wouldn't have to do this dance. And Judy Huemann wouldn't have had to monitor how much she drank during the day because she didn't want to have to ask someone to help her go to the bathroom. That was dehumanizing. That changed her. That affected her health. That affected her life. That affected her ability to focus, because it's always in the back of your brain. Like, oh
Mhm.
my gosh, is there going to be someone to help me go to the bathroom? Is there going to be someone around? Is it
Mhm.
ridiculous? So I really appreciate what you both said, because it did spark even more in my brain of like, we have to be kind to other people so that they can grace us with their good Samaritanness.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Yeah,
If I may add on, is that okay?
of course.
Thank you. This is Farah again. Just sort of building off of that, it occurs to me that as far as like getting help and relying on, help and kindness and whatever to get by, when this is, I mean, I have found this to be the case, but I think back to what Judy wrote about in her book, when she was pursuing her teaching license and she contacted the ACLU, and they were like, no, you'll be totally fine, but if not, like, we've got your back. And then it was like super not fine, and she went to them for help, for support, and then they just failed her.
Mhm.
Just like, we're just told her like, no, this is not an issue, like, we're like, no, like, sorry, your rights aren't human rights, they haven't been violated, like, don't waste our time, basically. And it's just like, when we do, like, we have to rely on so much kindness and help from others to get by, but then oftentimes when we really do need help from others to get by or to move forward, it's back to that, like, but are you deserving of this though? Do you, a disabled person, really deserve this help and support? I don't know. And that's not okay.
Nope.
And she did a whole lot to help shift that. Yeah.
This is Grace, if I may kind of add on to that thought as well. I think something else that you made me think about is when sometimes as a disabled person, we reach out because we maybe realize that something is going to be a potential problem that we have available to us. A lot of the times those resources say something on the lines of, oh, you're going to be fine. It's not a concern. You'll be okay. But you already know before whatever experience it might be that there's going to be a problem, whether that be for something for school or maybe something for work. Maybe you don't have the knowledge you need or the access that you need to the building. And they say, no, it's going to be fine. Well, no, as a disabled person, I know this is not going to be fine. So not only are we relying on their kindness, but we're also relying on them. I don't even know how to word it, but we're relying on them to say, like, it's not that we're right, but like, I don't even know, I guess, how to phrase it. I'm blanking on the words to use, but we rely on this kindness and then almost maybe the acceptance of, yeah, you need that access, but we shouldn't need to rely on either of those things because the access should just be readily available to everybody.
Yeah, they shouldn't have to trust us that we need something. It should just be there.
Correct. That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
I think so too. This is Jordan. That's a great way to put it. And Grace, I love that you brought that up because that's another issue of just valuing disabled lives is the non-disabled community thinks that they know what's best for us.
Yes.
And I love how in both of Judy Huemann's books, she's like, you don't know what's best for us. And she described her background as her parents, having been Jewish people during like the Holocaust and how their parents had to give them up and for their own safety, and there's a lot of trauma there, and so they built up this these personalities grew from that of like, we can't be silent, we have to say something because this is about our lives. So her parents raised her to be that way. So early on, I think both of you were talking about that she didn't, grow. She wasn't younger thinking like, I'm going to be a disability rights advocate. Like she just grew into the role, I guess, just out of necessity for her life. She had to, quote unquote, like harass Califano to get him to sign the regulations 504 like unchanged, and help get the Americans with Disabilities Act passed because no one was following regulations 504. Like you have to have this entity that is going to keep people accountable, and like you have to be outspoken, and that's what's kind of scary about advocacy is not only do you have to know what's best for you as a person with a disability, you have to be willing to scream it in people's faces and fight them on it because they think they know what's better or best, which is scary and tough. So yeah, I just wanted to bring it back to her, Judy Huemann's, her book, just talking about how she wasn't going to feel sorry for the people that she was pushing to the limits of, you're going to listen to me, you are going to know what I have to say, and you're going to believe it because it's true. And I thought that was really inspiring because conflict is hard. It is scary, it is hard, and she just went in, you know, head first, wheels first, whatever. So
yeah.
Was there anything else about her book that, you know, that stood out, or that like really touched either of you? I mean, I know it's a, like, it's all in all a great book, but like, did it necessarily like teach you anything, or yeah?
I was really struck. This is Farah. I'm eventually going to be saying my name before I get halfway through a sentence, I promise. This is Farah. I was really struck by like listening to her story, listening to her talk about like the struggles that she was facing as a disabled person, like pre-ADA, pre-disability rights, like, and then looking at like my life as a disabled person who the ADA was passed when I was like very, very small. So basically most of my entire life has been with the ADA in place, and not like just acknowledging how grateful I am to have grown up with, you know, the ADA and 504 and just the whole other slew of laws and protections in place, thanks to her in large part, but also looking at so many things that she talks about experiencing and going through, from, you know, medical trauma to, you know, inaccessibility to bullying to everything else, and just sort of like nodding along and going like, yeah, that's relatable. Yeah, that's relatable. Oh yeah, yep, that's relatable. And just realizing that like things are so much better than they were, you know, 20 years ago, 40 years ago, 60 years ago. But also that we still have so far to go, that the work is definitely not done. And that I'm really, really grateful for the people like Judy Huemann who have boldly and brazenly just wheeled right into the fire and just, you know, taken it on. And also felt inspired and encouraged to just continue doing something similar myself. I also did not, like, you know, grow up going like, I'm going to get into politics and advocacy work and whatever. I had like 20, you know, desired career paths as a kid and adolescent, and ended up doing disability rights work and political work and what have you, because I kept running into inaccessibility and started yelling at stairs and yelling at curb cuts and then yelling at politicians and then yelling at the governor, and, you know, just that one thing leads to another. And when you refuse to be quiet and back down and just shut up and be nice about your rights, change starts happening, and you find yourself more in the middle of affecting that change, much like Judy Huemann, which is really cool and is inspiring and makes me feel like maybe I'm not totally wasting my time and, you know, just spinning my wheels literally and metaphorically. But also, like, I don't know, it's just, it also gives me that moment of like, the things that I'm dealing with today are the same things that Judy was dealing with. And on one hand, like I said, things are so much better than they were. But on the other hand, like, are we ever really gonna get past lack of access? Are we ever really gonna get past ableism? are we ever really gonna get past these things? And I don't know, but we definitely won't if we don't keep working at them, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So those are my rambly thoughts. And I could ramble about this book for eons. Every person with a body and who uses public transportation or who goes to school or who engages with society or who knows people should read this book. I could go on, but I would love to hear what Grace has to say.
So this is Grace, and I don't know that you could have said it better. I feel as if you took a lot of the words right out of my brain. Yeah, I think that first and foremost, your closing thoughts were very great about that everyone needs to read this book. Also, just with what you were saying too, to reiterate, not looking, but reading this book and listening to it, again, I had those moments where I was like, yeah, I can relate. I understand that, or I've gone through a situation very similar to that. And growing up with, laws and legislation in place, I feel very fortunate that I didn't need to experience some of the things that Judy did. But then I am just so fortunate that Judy did the things that Judy did, and really, screamed at these people and said, we need these things. And yeah, your thoughts were really great. I don't know what else to add.
Aw, very kind.
Thanks, Grace. Thanks, Farah. This is Jordan. I also think everyone in the world should read this book. In addition to other books that I like, it's my entire life isn't about just disability advocacy. It is just a huge part of my world that disability justice is in my life because I'm a disabled person. So it just I live it. Like both of you, like many other people, with either physical or mental or visible, invisible, recognized, unrecognized disabilities. I am also fortunate that I was born in 1997, and there, the Rehab Act of like the 504 of the Rehabilitation Act, like that was 1973, and then the ADA is 1989. Like that was, a decade or more before I was born, and so I also grew up with those protections. But it isn't. We're not striving for the bare minimum here. We aren't striving for accommodation. We're striving for access. There's a huge difference. Access is the inherent, the integrated, the like considerate at the beginning of construction, just universal design, make it as open and easily available to the largest population possible. Where accommodation is, oh, here's some tools, here's some support, here are some resources that will let you have access to whatever this is, that didn't necessarily have you in mind when it was made. And as fortunate as I am to like have those auxiliary aids and have that support, I don't want accommodation. If everything is made with universal design in mind, there is no need for accommodation. And I mean that literally. I went through this micro course for the for my job. I work in access services and higher education. So I had to take this accessibility little micro training, and it was saying that like accommodations are always going to be around because there's always going to be barriers. And as realistic as that might sound, that's not impossible. If someone is like, well, one of the examples was extended time on tests. And, some people just need more time. Like, that's an accommodation and that's not anyone's fault. Yeah, it is. It's the fault of the person who put the time limit on the exam.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't have the limit, don't have the barrier. It's something that I'm really passionate about, because I run into it so often. Is my screen reader going to be accessible with this? Is there going to be Braille on this? But there's so little Braille everywhere, I forget sometimes how to read it. Like, I have to keep up with my knowledge of Braille when I come into contact with it. It's anyway. Judy Huemann was an amazing advocate and probably an amazing person too. I didn't get to meet her personally though, although I wish I would have, because that would have been pretty cool. And I think that her book, Rolling Warrior, it has a lot of great information, and it has a lot of suggestions for like where we can go from here. Holding people accountable. We don't just need the laws in place. We need people who are gonna make those laws, enforce those laws. And I think complete access is possible. Is it going to happen in my lifetime? I'm not sure, but we sure as hell can try.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that seems like something worth continuing to work towards, says Farah. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, it seems very reasonable and doable. And as I say so often, that I think that it's probably become just like a superhero style catchphrase. Access benefits literally everyone.
This is Jordan. That is so true. It is so true. Like the larger bathroom stalls that accommodate wheelchairs and elevators, like those are great for people who have kids, and those large stroller things that you put babies in.
That's right.
I don't have kids, so I forgot what it was momentarily.
Yeah, you can put babies in them, or dogs, or I saw a tortoise in one once. Whatever's clever,
Yeah. Or if you're a person who doesn't have a car and you need public transportation and you have this cart full of groceries, like a ramp is great. Absolutely. If even with captions in Zoom meetings, something as little as like captions and audio description. Maybe someone's audio isn't working, so the captions are really great as a safeguard, or audio describing and saying out loud what is happening, because maybe someone who's in a Zoom meeting is momentarily distracted and has to look away, or they have to walk away and their speaker's still on. It is just having multiple means of representation, which is a term from universal design, which I think everyone should learn about. Multiple means of representation reaches the most audience. You have a visual format, you have the added audio, you have the interactive, you have the descriptive hyperlinks, and you have the accessible charts and everything. It is just good for everyone, because no one is never going to be disabled. It is a part of the human experience. You're either going to fall and break your leg, or you get older and you lose your vision or your hearing, or you just don't move as well as you used to because you're older. And no one is never going to be disabled. It is just a part of human experience. So this is good for everyone. And I feel like we can't stress that enough, is that we're not the quote unquote other. This isn't a in-group versus out-group. This is a us, a human experience. We are all in the group. So yeah, those are Jordan's ramblings.
Couldn't agree more.
So this is Jordan again. Does anyone else have anything that they want to add, or that I neglected to ask about?
This is Grace. No, I don't think so. I think you did a really great job.
Well, thank you.
Yep, this is Farah, just echoing Grace. I don't think I have anything to add, and you did spectacularly.
Well, thank you. This is Jordan. I have enjoyed this conversation with both of you, Grace and Farah. You are awesome humans, and I wouldn't despair in talking further. This is great conversation.
Yes.
Sometimes it can be a dark, sad topic, but it can also be super empowering and just relieving to know that the quote unquote fight for justice, it has already been started. The first move in the right direction has already been undertaken, which is great, because now we have something to build off of. Now we have things to reference, go back to, and remind ourselves that it's not a hopeless effort.
Absolutely. This is Farah, and that is very uplifting, and I love that.
Yeah, this is Grace, and I couldn't agree more.
I stumbled my words a little. This is Jordan again. I stumbled my words a little bit there because my screen reader was announcing the messages that Michael had sent out. So yeah, if anyone has any questions or wants any like further information about Judy Huemann or her books, or how to find more information about like universal design and all of the things that Judy Huemann is talking about, or the things that Grace, Sarah, and I have been talking about, you can totally ask. This is the time for that, but if not, then that is also fine.
So this is Michael. I have a question for all three of you. If you could tell your younger self something about your own struggles that you've had with maybe personal identity or your growth to where you're at now, what would that be?
This is Jordan. If I can ramble more, I would say it's not you. It's not your fault. I spent my entire childhood and part of a good chunk of my adult life believing that I was the problem, believing that my disability was on me, and it was my responsibility to find ways to engage in my environment, to engage in the community, to engage in the world around me. I have countless stories and memories of my parents telling me to suck it up, or my grandparents telling me it's not your fault, God has a plan, something, something, something. It's one excuse after another, but I was never told that this isn't your responsibility, and that this isn't on you. So I would go back and tell myself that it's not you. It's the world's perception of you. It's the world's, the vision that the world was created in. That's the problem. So at least then I would have some solace and be able to maybe start my my disability advocacy journey a little earlier. But definitely tell myself that. I'm curious to know what Grace and Farah have to say too.
Go ahead, Grace.
Oh, yeah, okay. This is Grace. I think if I was going to tell myself something, it would be that you're not an inconvenience. A lot of the time growing up, I felt asking for something, which I shouldn't have had to do if there was universal access, but asking for things, I always felt like I was inconveniencing other people, and that I was making their day a little bit harder. But I think if I could tell myself that you're not an inconvenience, you need to continue to ask for these things so that people understand that it should be made that way to begin with. It should be made accessible to begin with. It should be made universally accessible to everyone. Then I wouldn't need to ask for those things. So you're not an inconvenience is what I would tell myself.
Love it.
This is Farah, and those are both exceptional answers that I would definitely love to pass along to my younger self. I guess my answer would be, let's see here, how to phrase this somewhat succinctly. Brevity is not my strong suit, if you've not noticed. I would say that basically that it's okay to be disabled. That disability is not a dirty word. It's not even a 4-letter word. That it's not a moral failing. It's not an inconvenience. That it's fine. That it's beautiful even, and that my condition is progressive. So I started off like, seeming okay, which mostly meant that my symptoms were kind of ignored, and they just kind of got worse and worse and worse and will forever. And when I started needing to use mobility aids, I didn't for a long time. And I did a lot of irreparable damage to my body by not using mobility aids when I should have. Because I wasn't disabled. I didn't want to look disabled. I didn't want to have to use a cane. What would people think? What will, blah, blah, all the internalized ableism. And so if I could go back to my 19, 20, 18, 19-year-old self and just grab them by the shoulders gently, just be like, it's okay to be disabled. Use the mobility aid. Do it. Disability is beautiful. Say the word. Embrace it. Find a good therapist. Yeah. But,
This is Jordan.
yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say basically like unraveling that like internalized ableism that I think all of us have like thrust upon us from society is like a forever journey. But you know, the sooner that we can start chipping away at that, the better. And being a little bit on the older end of the spectrum, I think that it was a little bit more ingrained. Also, maybe just the upbringing as well. But you know, it was definitely something to fight and push back against, and it did me no favors. So, yeah.
We have a question in chat. It says, do you have any suggestions on how people can be allies and advocates for the disability community?
This is Jordan. That's a really good question. Grace, Farah, do either of you want to start?
Would you like to start with this one, Grace?
Oh boy.
You don't have to.
If you have some thoughts, you can 100% go first.
Sure.
I'm trying to think of what to say here.
No worries. I got you. So this is Farah. So assuming that the commenter is an abled person, assuming that based on the use of the word ally, my suggestion is always, first and foremost, listen to disabled people, which you are doing by being here, which is spectacular. But like, you know, keep up with that. That's awesome. There's great podcasts and books and stuff like this. But you know, getting your info from actual disabled folk and hearing like what we want versus what able people and organizations run by boards that are mostly able people tell you that we want and need, we definitely are the experts there. But doing things like, you know, if you see something, I mean, if you see something, say something. It sounds very cliche, but you know, little things I find make a difference. If you see someone parked in an accessible parking space without a placard, if you can kindly say something without causing a fight, do it. If you find the emergency pull cord in a bathroom wrapped up, unwrap it. You know, just little things like that are great ways to be a practical ally. And then just pushing back against ableism when you see it in person, on the internet. It's harder there because people just love to fight. But whether it's ableist language or stigmatizing, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Sweeping generalizations. Those are great ways to be allies, breaking down stigmas and I still can't think of the word. The brain fog is strong. Sorry about that. But anyway, those are great ways to be allies. And then if you want to take it a step further after that, depending on what state you're in, there's a lot of great organizations at either with your state or, you know, just nonprofits that do work with disability rights that are always looking for free labor. So, yeah.
This is Grace going off of what was just said. All of that was really awesome. And you made me think of something too, with just, you know, being a voice and mentioning when things maybe aren't right. Something that I struggle with a lot being legally blind is when you are when you're walking around town and the little button that you press on the pole to like cross the street, when those don't work, it's really frustrating as a person who cannot see, because and when they're not accessible as well, because they should vibrate, they should speak, they should do something. So if you know, like in your town, like something like that isn't working, that is a great thing to report to your city. Like, hey, the accessible, again, can't think of the word, the accessible like traffic stop thingy isn't working. That's not the technical term for it, but it's not working. And things like that are very helpful, because it's very hard when you get to it and it's not working, because odds are other people have crossed with it not working. And if I am encountering it and it doesn't work, it totally affects the way that I travel and I am able to access my city. So things like that are, again, very practical and very helpful. Just noticing those things. Really bad sidewalks are something else that I run into all the time when I just want to go on a walk. I mean, there are so many things that you can do that might seem so minimal, but that will make life so much easier.
This is Jordan. I completely concur with Farah and Grace. Like, all that has been said about being an ally, it's, to me, it's really easy. It's modeling inclusive behavior. It's saying who you are when you talk to someone, because maybe they can't see you, maybe they don't recognize you, maybe it's the first time you're meeting, maybe they've met you before and they don't remember your name. Like, again, access is for everyone. So modeling that behavior, doing research on universal design and audio description and access, like doing that research and understanding what people with disabilities are talking about when they say these things. You know, not just from an academic perspective, but like how this may actually affect people's lives. Because if the talking street corner pole thing doesn't work, we may not want to cross the street and get hit by big scary cars, because in the battle of car versus person, the car will always win. It's just not worth it. So yeah, look for organizations. If you want to go that far, model inclusive behavior, do research on what the things we've been talking about look like, sound like in real life. And always get your information about people with disabilities from people with disabilities. Okay. So question. So my screen reader keeps announcing the chat. I'm sorry. What's going on in the chat, Michael?
Oh, sorry, Jordan.
No, that's okay.
We have a question from Steve Anderson. He says, I'm an older man with CP. I've known the world pre and post ADA. Where do you think our community belongs within diversity? I feel most of society's views disability as a stepchild of diversity.
That's a really good question. This is.
Could you read that a second time, please?
Yes. So the question is, it says, where do you think our community belongs within diversity? I feel most of our society views disability as a stepchild of diversity.
Gotcha. Thank you.
This is Jordan. Farah, did you want to speak first?
Whoever was going to speak can speak. I just needed to hear the question again.
Okay. This is Jordan. I can answer. In short, disability is, contrary to popular perspective, is not a part of diversity. It is diversity. Disability is diversity, and it's valuable because just biologically it's valuable. It is very helpful for evolution and mutation in evolution. In diversity, it makes life easier. It offers different perspectives. It opens the world to innovation and like invention, because if there weren't these certain access issues, they wouldn't have led to certain creations or inventions that benefit everyone. So if there isn't any quote unquote problems, or if there isn't any difference among humans, then there's no strive for working with those differences, if that makes any sense. I am not great with words, but I definitely try to be. The difference in humanity is valuable. People with disabilities are valuable. People without disabilities are valuable. And disability can either mean it's an and or situation. Disability is the disconnect with a person and their environment. So I feel most disabled when I'm trying to read a document and it isn't accessible with my screen reader. If it is accessible with my screen reader, then there's no problem there. Or if I'm talking to someone and they announce who they are, then that's something I don't have to worry about. But I feel like a lot of people think that disability just means that it's a person who has something like quote unquote wrong with their body or their mind. It's not. It's a person has a condition with their mind or body that is different from the typical body or mind, and requires different needs to interact with the environment. So disability is just part of diversity, and anything can be a disability. Back in the 1900s, 1800s, if you were a person of color, that was a disability. You were not allowed in certain places. You couldn't ride public transportation, and you didn't have access, and that is disability. So diversity is good. Disability is diversity. Stand.
Nice. This is Farah, and I would say that if I'm understanding the question correctly, my experience has been that disability, that first of all, I agree just 10,000% with Jordan as far as like disability being just a beautiful and necessary part of diversity, and diversity being something that strengthens humanity, like stamp, as she said, just beautiful. If I am understanding your question correctly, my answer to that would be my experience and observation over the years has been that, yeah, when we, and by we I mean society, talks about diversity, yeah, disability is kind of, or has been kind of forgotten about in the diversity conversation, or is kind of, as you put it, the stepchild. It's just like, oh yeah, diversity, like women and people of color. Oh, and I guess disabled people. Yeah. That has definitely been something that I've observed quite a bit. I think, and maybe it's just the spaces that I'm in and the people I run with and my analytics on my search engines, knowing the kind of stuff I search for. But I think that in recent years, specifically the last like 5 years or so, I think it's getting better. I see like ad campaigns for like major companies, like, like Aerie, like American Eagle, like Victoria's Secret, even like, just like what's that other blue jean company? There's some major companies out there that are starting to use like models that have like physical differences, whether it's how do you say it, vitiligo, the skin difference, or a model in a wheelchair, or someone with either an amputated or just a limb that was never there, along with people of all sizes, people of all colors, people of all genders. So I think that it's shifting. I think that we're becoming less like, ugly stepsister. But I think historically, yeah, that is sort of how disability has been included in the diversity conversation. So I hope that answers your question. Yeah.
This is Grace, and I just agree with everything that's been said by everyone. And yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't think I have too much to add. I just think that we still have a little bit of work to do when thinking about disability and including it in diversity, I guess is what I'll say, because everyone else spoke so well.
This is Michael. We have one more question. It says, what do you wish people better understood about disability?
This is Grace. Okay, first of all, what a wonderful question. Second of all, everything maybe is the right answer, in my opinion. Something that comes to mind though, a lot of the time that I see people, well, here is a better way to put it, hear people do in their conversations is they'll say the disability before the person. So they'll be like, insert disability here, person. And that is so wrong. People are people before they are their disability. And the disability should never describe someone. You should never think, for example, like if you were going to talk about me, you shouldn't be like, Grace, my disabled friend, because I am more than my disability. There is more to me than being disabled. And I think a lot of times it shouldn't be the first description that comes out of someone's mouth when referring to a person. Just like anything else that anybody is dealing with in life. From a young age, I was taught that everybody deals with some sort of something in their life. And a lot of the time, we might not get to know what that is, but even still, you wouldn't describe someone like that. And I think a lot of the times people with disabilities do get described that way, and it's really unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
And just that we want to be treated like everybody else. We don't want you to, as we talked about earlier, to have to feel like you're doing us a favor. Like if the world was completely accessible, that wouldn't be the way things are. So those, I guess, are my thoughts without rambling on for 3 hours.
This is Farah, and those are such good answers, especially the everything, because yes, everything. I guess it's so hard to narrow down because also, yes, everything. But I guess one thing that like it would be nice for folks, like able people, to understand about disability is that disability is not a monolith, by which I mean it presents in so many different ways. It's not just one thing. And I know that like the international symbol for disability, which is the blue wheelchair symbol that you see on all the parking placards and parking spaces and stuff, it's kind of what people picture when you picture like disabled. But like disability can mean like, it can mean blind, it can mean deaf, it can mean wheelchair or cane or crutches or like intellectual disability or so many other things. It can mean a mix and match. It can also, even if you want to like narrow it down to just like a wheelchair user for simplicity, you've got people like me. I'm an ambulatory wheelchair user, which means I use a wheelchair, but I can also stand up, and I use a cane or crutches. And I can also stand without my mobility aids. It just really, really hurts. I'm a fall risk. But like, disability is so diverse and multifaceted, and you literally cannot look at somebody, and even if you know they're disabled, you cannot just look at them and know what their experience is, what their limitations are, what their exceptions and exceptions are, just you can't. And I cannot tell you how many times I've been out and about and had people like freak out at me because I've moved my legs or because I had a cane in my bag. So obviously I was like faking my disability. And it's just like, I had a partner who was legally blind but still had some peripheral vision, and he would use his phone and for like directions or to check a message, and people would just harass him about that because he was obviously like faking being blind. And there's lots of air quotes going on there for those of you who cannot see me. And that kind of like just ableism and lack of awareness of disability is not only ignorant, but is just straight up harmful. So I guess, and also exhausting, especially like it's hurtful the first time you deal with it. It's like just exhausting and annoying the 500th time, like just and hurtful. But anyway, so I guess that would be my thing. It's just like, I wish that people understood how just diverse of a spectrum disability can be and is.
Mhm.
This is Jordan. I love this question, and I love Grace and Farah's answers to it so far. Both of the things that I would have said as well. I think it's also important to note that I know this is like the most brash way I could say this, but we're not here to make you feel better about yourself. When interacting with us, like don't feel sorry for us because we have a physical or mental difference. Feel sorry for the system for treating us the way that it does. Because when you feel sorry for us, and that leads to wanting to relieve that guilt of being an able-bodied person by being nice and helping us and all of that, like rather than feel sorry for us, realize, like, think about, why do you feel bad? Is it because I'm a blind person and I'm trying to use an inaccessible cash register to just pay for my groceries? and it's neither talking to me nor has Braille on the buttons, like, don't be sorry for me that I can't use it. Be pissed at the object that is causing me such frustration.
Mhm.
You know, be angry with the fact that things aren't accessible. Don't feel sorry for us.
Mm.
It's a sucky situation for us, for sure, but it's not a situation to feel bad for us about. It's a situation to be outraged at, and then that will hopefully push people into action that doesn't just help in the moment. Like, it is nice for someone to come and help me read whatever I can't see, but it's more helpful for people to push for things to just be either read out loud or presented in Braille for me in the first place.
Mhm.
So that is what I would like to say. And I know that I may have just hurt some people's feelings and maybe made people uncomfortable, but that's the hard truth, is it's not us, it's the system. So be mad at the system, don't be sad for us.
That's right.
Thank you.
Yes, applause.
All right, I think that is about it for our webinar.
Groovy.
Thank you all for coming. If you need CEUs, in the email that you had received, there should be a link that you can go to and fill out a little questionnaire and get your CEUs for your CRC. If not, thank you all for coming.
A pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
Thank